Hey guys, happy Women's Day everyone. Today we're going to learn how to make these fun crochet fringe pants. So I decided to release this on Women's Day because it's a fun project and it can be paired with our previous tutorials, which are the fringe halter top as well as the mandala crochet top. So you can find both those tutorials in the description box below. And let's jump right into the materials. So here are all the materials that you will need for this project, and if you would like the written pattern, it's already available on all my online shops. So check the description box below. Alright, so you're going to grab your 4mm crochet hook and your yarn, and you're going to start making a chain. So we start off with a slip knot. For a slip knot, you just yarn over like this to create a ribbon-like shape, like this. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over, pull through. So from here, this is our slip knot. We're going to make a long chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you should make sure this chain is a multiple of 4. Alright, so I have my multiple of 4 and I have done a total of 148 chains. So you should make sure you make a chain that is your hip measurement when slightly stretched. So the hip measurement that I'm considering for this design is 40 inches. So as you can see, slightly stretched, it goes up to 40 inches. But when like fully stretched, it goes to around 47 inches, as you can see here. So I have my 148 chains, which should be a multiple of 4. So the reason why I'm saying that is because the mesh pattern has a tendency to shrink. And if you measure this chain while fully stretching it, you're going to get a very tight fitting for your shirt or an ill-fitted shirt or pant. So we're going to make sure that our chain is not twisted, and we're going to make a slip stitch into the very first chain. So you're going to insert your hook into the first chain and then yarn over, pull through all. So that's a slip stitch. This will create a ring. Now we're going to start creating the mesh pattern right away. So we're going to start off with, I think we should first make an edging, or at least a round of double crochets. I think that would be much better. So you're going to make a chain of 3, which counts as our very first double crochet. And then you're going to go into each and every chain with 1 double crochet. So a double crochet in the US terms is yarn over, insert your hook into the next chain, pull up a loop. You will have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. That's a double crochet. So we're going to continue to work 1 double crochet in each and every chain all the way around the ring that we just formed before we start creating the mesh pattern. So go all the way around, placing 1 double crochet in each and every chain until you come to the beginning of your round, and I'll show you how to wind up round 1. Alright, so we've made it all the way around, and I am placing my very last double crochet into the last chain. And you should make sure your work is not twisted, as you can see here. And we are going to make a slip stitch on top of the first chain 3. So the chain 3 is here, and into the top chain, you're going to insert your hook, yarn over, pull through all, and that's a slip stitch that joins the round 1 and finishes it up. So you're going to have something like this. So we're going to start working the mesh pattern around what we already have, because this will be the waistband. This design is worked from top to bottom. So what you're going to do is make a chain of 6, and this chain of 6 counts as a double crochet, chain 3. The 3 chains count as a double crochet, and then the chain 3. So this is a chain of 6, and you're going to turn so that you're working in the opposite direction of the previous round. Turn your work, and then you're going to prepare for a double crochet by yarning over, and then you're going to skip over 1, 2, and 3 stitches, and into the 4th you're going to place a double crochet. So insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So this is the size of the mesh pattern that we are going to work with today. So make a chain of 3, skip over 3 stitches, and into the 4th place a double crochet, and repeat this all the way around until you come back to the beginning of the round, and I'll show you how to wind up your round. So don't forget, chain 3, skip 3 stitches, and into the 4th double crochet. So this is what you'll have. This is the mesh pattern that we are going to deal with before we start attaching the fringes. Alright, so you're going to make it all the way around until you have only 3 stitches left. As you can see here, you're going to make a chain of 3, skip over those 3 stitches, and you're going to go into the 3rd chain of the first chain 6 of the round. So counting from the base, you're going to count 1, 2, and into the 3rd chain you're going to insert your hook, pull through all, yarn over, pull through all. So that's how you wind up your very first round of mesh. And then another thing that I need to point out, make sure your mesh stitches, or the chains that you do in between the double crochet stitches, are not very tight. So we are trying to limit, create some sort of reasonable tension for the chains that we are creating in between the double crochet stitches. So this is how your round 1 of mesh will look like. So we're going on to round 2, and you're going to make a chain of 6, and that counts as a double crochet, chain 3. Turn your work so that you're working in the opposite direction of the previous round, and then you're going to go into the next double crochet with 1 double crochet. So for the mesh pattern, we don't work anything in the chain 3 spaces. Chain 3, 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 3, 1 double crochet into the next double crochet. So you're going to repeat this all the way around until you make it back to the beginning of your round, and I'll show you how to wind up. Alright, so we've made it all the way around the second round of mesh, and we have 3 chains left. So you're going to make a chain of 3, skip over those 3 chains, and go into the 3rd chain of the first chain 6, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through all. So that's how you wind up your second round. So we're going to repeat round 2 of mesh until you have a specific number of rounds that I'll mention later on when I have the number of rounds that I need for the size that I'm making for. So just keep repeating round 2, and I'll let you know how many rounds to do for the different sizes. Alright, so I've ended up doing a total of 13 rounds of mesh. So in total we have a total of 14, because this is also a round. So I have 13 rounds of mesh, and for all the other sizes, just check on the screen. For sizes medium, large, extra large, 2XL, and all that. So this is for extra small. So once you get your slip stitch, once you make your last slip stitch of your last round, you're going to split the number of boxes into 2. So for me, I have a total of 38 boxes around. That means I am going to have, from the slip stitch, you're going to count from here 1 2 3 4 5 6 until you have half of the boxes. So since I have a total of 38 boxes around, I am going to divide it by 2 and get a total of 19 boxes. So from here, I'm going to count 19 boxes, and then into the next double crochet, I will place a stitch marker. And that means this is the exact middle of the other side of the shorts or the pants. So now we are going to make a chain. So for size extra small, I am going to make a chain of 15. So this chain in the middle that's going to split the legs should be a multiple of 4 plus 3 chains. So for me, I'm going to make a chain of 15. Just like this, or 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So I ended up doing a total of 19 chains, which is still a multiple of 4 plus 3 chains. So I have a total of 19 chains, and I will attach it into the stitch with the stitch marker. Just like that. And then I'm going to remove the stitch marker because it's no longer needed. And at this point, we have split our shorts into two sections. So for all the other sizes, just look on the screen and get the number of chains that you have to do for the middle section in order to split your shorts into 2. All right, once you create your slip stitch, we are now going to start working on only one side of the pants, and then we shall come back and work on this side as well. So you're going to make a chain of 6, just like we've been doing, and I'm going to start with this side. So 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 3, 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, and repeat that all the way around until you get back to the chain. We're just going to work one leg hole at a time. All right, so we've reached the chain, and as you can see here, you're going to make a chain of 3 and go into that double crochet there with 1 double crochet before starting to work on the chain. So after this, you're going to make a chain of 3, skip over 3 chains, 1 2 3, and into the next chain, which is the 4th, you're going to place a double crochet there, chain 3, skip 3 chains, 1 2 3, 1 double crochet into the next chain, chain 3, skip 3 chains, 1 double crochet into the next chain, and repeat that until you have only 3 chains left. All right, so I have only 3 chains left here, and I am going to make a chain of 3 and skip over those 3 chains, and I'm going to slip stitch into the 3rd chain of the first chain 6 of the round. So this marks the end of round 1 of the leg extensions. These are going to be called leg extensions, the one that extends the shorts or the pants into the length, your desired length. So we're going to go back to the round that we've been working for our shorts or pants. You make a chain of 6, turn your work so that you're working in the opposite direction of the previous round, and you're going to make 1 double crochet into the next double crochet. So just like that. So this is the same exact process that we've been working for the body of the short before we split the legs. So this time the round is very definite and you don't have to think about it at all. You're just going to continue creating the mesh pattern all the way around, and this will be round 2 of the mesh of the leg extensions. All right, so we've come to the end of the round and we have only 3 chains left on our round. So you're going to make a chain of 3 and skip over the 3 chains and slip stitch into the 3rd chain of the first chain 6 of the round. Just like that. So we're going to repeat this round until we have the length of the pant that we want, or the shirt that we want. Okay guys, as we go along, you'll have something that looks like this. You can see I'm lengthening one side of the legs, the leg holes, and then this side is still at the shirt's level. So I'm going to demonstrate how to work on this side as well to balance what's happening on this side, and then later on I'll let you know how many rounds that I did after splitting the leg holes into 2. So let me assume you have finished your very first leg up to the feet. I'll be letting you know how many rounds to do for the pants to be well fitted and up to the floor later on when I'm through with this. But for now, I want to demonstrate this part so that I can go ahead and lengthen my legs up to my desired length. So let me assume you have finished this and now you're coming to this side. And what you're going to do is to see the seam line of this this side of the pants. So my seam line is on this side. As you can see, this is my seam line where we have the chain 6, or where the rounds start from. As you can see, I'm still going for this round, but it starts from here. So this is my seam line. So what I want to do is to attach my yarn. Get your yarn and attach it in a way that you're starting your round on this side, the side with the seam line. Don't start it from this side. And that means this will automatically become the front side of our work, because we don't want to see the seam line on the front side of the work. So you're going to attach your yarn into this stitch, this double crochet before the chain. Remember the chain of 19 that we did, or whatever chain that you did for the separation of the legs. We're going to attach our yarn there into that double crochet, and we're going to make a chain of 6. After your chain of 6, we are now going to start working along the chain that we did for the separation of the legs, the chain of 19, or whatever number that you did for your size. We're going to make a double crochet in the chain with the double crochet on the opposite side, as you can see here. Then you're going to make a chain of 3, double crochet in the chain with the double crochet on the opposite side. Chain 3. Repeat this until you have only 3 chains left. So now I have 3 chains left to get back to this side of the leg hole, the second leg hole. So what we are going to do is make a chain of 3 and go into, you're going to skip over the 3 chains and go into that space with 1 double crochet, just like this, and then chain 3. And now you can see we are working in the opposite direction of the previous round, and that's exactly what we want. So you're going to go into the next double crochet with 1 double crochet, chain 3, 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, and you're going to repeat this all the way around until you come back to the beginning of your round. So we've started from the chain this time, the chain that we did for the middle separation of the leg holes. from here all the way around, and I'll meet you back at this point. So I've made it all the way around and I have only 3 chains left. I'm going to make a chain of 3, and after the chain of 3 you're going to slip stitch into the 3rd chain of the first chain 6. So slip stitch there, and now we're going to go back to our normal system. Chain 6, turn your work so that you're working in the opposite direction of the previous round, and then 1 double crochet into the next double crochet. Chain 3, 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, and repeat that all the way around. So you're going to repeat around and around, and after some time you will see your legs splitting. I'll be showing you what you'll have after a few rounds of working on the 2nd leg hole, and then we shall push our pants to whatever length that we want. Okay guys, for the purposes of demonstration, this is exactly what you'll have as you try to extend both the legs at the same time. So you can see this one is much longer than this one, but just to give you a clear picture of what you're going to have, you're going to have something like this. So you're going to keep extending, and I'll let you know how many rounds that I'll do for my pants total. Alright guys, so I ended up doing a total of 58 rows right from the beginning of the mesh pattern here, right below the waistband. I have a total of 58 rows for the pants on both sides, on each side. So 58 rows total for the pants, and you should make sure that the length doesn't go all the way to your feet. Leave room for about 3 to 4 inches, because that space is going to be covered by the fringe that's going to pour downwards. So whatever length that you require for your pants, subtract around 3 to 4 inches to cater for the fringe that's going to fall towards the bottom side of the pants. So after this, we are going to start attaching fringes, and I think we are going to start from the base. Just get one of the legs and then get your fringe. Okay, so you're going to cut strands of yarn of about 8 to 10 inches. That should be fine. And you're going to get two strands. You're going to get two strands, and you're going to place them in each and every chain 3 space. So since we are starting from the base, you're going to attach those 2 strands in each chain 3 space of the mesh pattern. So we are starting from the base of the pants going all the way up. And you can see what I was talking about. This length that we left unworked for our pants is going to be catered for by the fringe. So you get your 8 or 10 inch strands, fold them into half, and then go into the next chain 3 space and attach, just like that. And make sure they are firm enough. So you're going to go all the way around and keep attaching until you attach 2 strands of yarn in each and every chain 3 space. So you're going to start with the very last, the base of the pants. Then from here, you will go onto the next row, which is this line here. And you also attach in each and every chain 3 space, like that. So before you know it, your pants are going to be covered with a fringe design, and they will no longer be as see-through as before. So something like this. It's going to create some sort of layering, like this layer on top of the other, on top of the other, all the way up until you get to this row, the very first row of the mesh pattern. And then I'll show you what to do next after that. Alright guys, as you continue to place your fringes, this is exactly what you'll have. This is the first leg and this is the second leg. They'll become bulky with time, and this is the opening. So the inside won't have the fringes, so it will be very easy to wear, but the outside will be filled with fringes. I am still attaching fringes all the way up, and I'm only left with this upper part. So I'll be showing you how everything turns out at the end of the fringes, and then later on we shall do the shaping for the waistline. Alright guys, I ended up losing a footage of when I was putting a drawstring, but basically I just made a chain of 200 and put it through the very first round of double crochets, and that helped me gather the waist so that it can be snatched around my waist area. And these are the final pants. I hope you liked the tutorial. Make sure you give it a thumbs up if you did, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye. Happy Women's Day.